Hi, welcome to Becky's Garden Paradise. Today I'm bringing you the 2025 Bulb Palooza. So I got a huge gift of bulbs that my sister sent me. And when I say a huge gift, it was this huge box full of different kinds of bulbs. So the majority of them are Maximilian Sunflower, which I had to double check the label because when I was reading the label it said 36-inch spacing, and I was like, why do you have to space them so far apart? And then I looked at a picture of them online and saw that they grow really tall, so it'll be like a kind of like a tall stalk I should say, and the whole stalk is going to be covered in sunflower blooms. So when I had first read the label, I thought it said 3 to 10 inches. No, it's 3 to 10 feet. So I'll keep that in mind as I plant those bulbs in different spaces around my yard. And then what I really did is I have my garden journal here, and I've been keeping this journal for several years. And I'll write down information about different varieties. I'll draw out garden design plans in it. I'll make a list of like things that I want to plant, seeds I need to buy, or what I actually planted, so that I can go back and reference it later on, because at the time I'm planting it, I have a habit of thinking, oh, I'll remember what that was, and then later on I can't remember the variety or can't remember what it was that I had planted there. I'll include the date. That way I can go back and add notes on how they did. If, any details about like germination, if I had any issues, if I had good germination, if I didn't have any germination at all, how productive the plants were, things like that. So anyway, I have an entry for my Bulb Palooza, and the first bulb that I wrote down was the Maximilian Sunflower, and I have notes on the height that they're supposed to reach, so 3 to 10 feet, spacing 36 inches, and then the depth for these bulbs is only going to be 1 inch, which is really shallow. I don't even have a bulb planter, I guess is what you call it. I'm just going to use my spade, and it'll be fine. And then I added a note of what, they're going to look like: tall stalk, covered in blooms. Another one of the bulbs that she sent me, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, it's called Liriope Green, and I'll put the name in the caption. And so that looks more like a grass, this variety. There are some Liriope bulbs that bloom, but this looks like it's going to be like a tall green ornamental grass kind of bulb. And so I have a sloped yard and I have issues with erosion, so I think I'm going to plant those along the top of my sidewalk to try to help keep my soil from being washed away as easily and going into the street and essentially down the drain out of my yard. And those are going to be planted, so 24 to 36 inches tall is how tall they'll grow, so 2 to 3 feet tall. It says to plant them 18 to 24 inches apart. I'm going to go on the shorter number with the 18 inches apart, so that hopefully they'll be in there closer together to help prevent, again, that erosion. And then you only need to plant those 2 inches deep. The third one I'm going to work on getting planted today is going to be in my front yard, because I eventually want to turn most of my front yard into like garden bed. So I already have a few fruit trees in the front yard. I have a bird bath out there, and I want to plant some bulbs like in what will eventually be the front of the bed, so that they'll be perennials. They'll continue to grow and bloom each year. A lot of bulbs will multiply, kind of like how a garlic head or a garlic bulb, will grow the separate cloves, and then the cloves will separate and grow separate plants. That's what a lot of bulbs do. So that's one of the reasons why you need to give them the spacing, so that they have room to multiply. so that over time you'll have, you know, a denser bed of the bulbs. And so the bulbs I'm gonna put in my future garden bed in the front yard are gonna be Stella D'Oro and Daylilies, and they are a dwarf yellow reblooming bulb, and it says that those are gonna grow 12 to 15 inches tall, 18 to 24 inches apart for the spacing. Again, I'm gonna go on the smaller number, 18 inches apart. And you just need to plant those at soil level, so not very deep at all. So I'm gonna move my bulb project outside. Gonna put some sunglasses on, get my sun hat, get my spade in my hand and my gloves, and see how many I can get planted, because I sure do have a lot to plant. So I'll bring you outside and show you how that goes. Alright, so this is the area where I'm trying to use the bulbs to help fight the erosion I have in my yard. So I started right here, and I had my tape measure set on 18 inches. And so every 18 inches, I dug a shallow hole to plant the roots, because it said to, and I decided to put a row of the daylilies in front, and then I'll put the green, the Liriope Green, I think it's called, behind it. I thought it would look pretty with like a double row of 2 different bulbs and add to the protection against the erosion. So there's another one, and I just went down this line. You can kind of see, you know, where the ground's disturbed every 18 inches. Some of them had like a little bit of growth on the crown, so it made it easier to see which side to put in. And I already went through like 3 bags, and then I started going up this way. And then you can see I'd planted one right here, and then I lay the tape measure down 18 inches, and then that's where I make the next hole to put the next bulb in. Gonna see if I can do this one-handed to show you guys. Alright, so I just have a 5-gallon bucket with bags of the daylilies crown or bulbs in them. I don't know. I guess they're actually crowns. I thought they were bulbs, but this is what it looks like. I know bulbs usually look like a rhizome. And so you can see that it's already, this bag, they're already starting to sprout. So I'm going to put these toward the top at ground level, and then put the roots under the soil the best I can. Oops. So I'm going to use the shovel to move the soil back. Again, doing it one-handed. It's easier when you do it with 2 hands. I just want to make sure that I can get the roots down in the ground. Let's see. There we go. So the crown is at ground level about, and then backfill it with the sand. It's a lot quicker when I do it with both hands. So I just wanted to show you guys one. I'm going to finish this row that's along the edge of the sidewalk. And then I'll come back around and do a row of the Liriope Green. Not sure how you say it. I have this area in my front yard in front of a brick wall. And I have a couple sorrel plants. What else are they called? I know they call them sorrel or sorrel in Jamaica. Oh yeah, we call them roselle here. So these are plants that are in the okra family or hibiscus family. So they grow flowers that have a calyx that you can use to make tea or jam. So I have 2 of them, and they're about halfway to maturity. They're supposed to grow, I think they're about 3 feet tall right now, but they can get up to like 5 or 6 feet tall. And then around November, I think, down here in Florida, they'll start blooming. And then once those blooms dry, you know, you harvest the calyxes off of them. But anyway, I want to interplant some different things in this bed anyway. This used to be where I had a big pile of wood chips that I used to mulch my big garden when it was, you know, just getting established and everything. So anyway, I'm going to plant some of the daylilies around the front of this bed here. Alright, so I'm going to have to pick up this bulb Palooza in the future because I went and got my tripod and then I came back outside and it started raining. Well, it's sprinkling, but I'm sure that the rain will pick up. So at least I got the row of daylilies planted out in the, you know, the corner behind me, going the opposite way, in front of those trees along the sidewalk. So that's done. So I'll bring you guys back the next chance I get to come out here to continue with this. So this is the Bulb Palooza Planting Extravaganza Part 1. I'll see you guys soon next time. Thank you for joining me here at Becky's Garden Paradise. Have a great day.